Tell me how you really feel, cause I just wanna build with you. Black girl, tell me how you really feel. I just wanna keep it real with you. Yeah, I wanna live better, eat better. I wanna love better, sleep better. Yeah, I wanna feel so aligned. Sublime. Sublime. I wanna live better, eat better. Sublime. One time for elevated rhymes, 2 times for showmanship, 3 times for black hands and land ownership. Revolution I bring to you, wedding ring bling to you. Nisi blues on war tunes, singing to you. I am the rebel without a pause, no applause. Trust me, I am Chuck D, getting mine off. Many fools, they clock watching my moves, and I needed a reappraisal of flavor. Took some time off now. Back Jesus, black fetus, slumbering unborn. Ark of the covenant, curtain untorn. I'm the rose that rose to etches prose in Rosetta Stone. Still yelling it through a megaphone. Always repping, baby, forever home. I ain't the pot calling the kettle black. I am the flame keeping the kettle warm. I'm the blame for the renaissance that's cold. I write and recite it with down feathers on. I love you, and write and recite it with down feathers on. That mean that shit cold. And I'm the coldest. Listen, it's the message right here. Black boy, tell me how you really feel, cause I just wanna build with you. Black girl, tell me how you really feel. I wanna keep it real with you. I wanna live better, eat better. I wanna love better, sleep better. Yeah, I wanna feel so aligned. Sublime. Y'all give a round of applause to this band right now. When they tell me they want to feel the chords a little more.
We'll take the band introduction. But yo, what's up? It's your boy Convo.
I'm Jaleesa.
And welcome back to another episode of We Need to Talk. With our family, we need to talk. It sounds crazy, right? But get it right, guys. Get it through your minds. This is a great collaboration between family, man. We're so love on this part. And today has been a very, very unique day as part of the weather, man. Let me tell y'all what I've been trying to do for the past couple of days. We're from New York, right? Brooklyn, New York, to be exact. And we have a lot of concrete, you know what I'm saying, everywhere, you know? So now that we live in the South, we have a lot of grass. And honestly, I don't know how to take care of my grass, you know what I'm saying? So I've been putting fertilizer down, limestone, and all this other type of stuff, and I've been super motivated to go outside and mow. But man, this weather, bro, one day you'll get 80 degrees, and then the next day you'll get freaking 40. And it's like, I can't find the right motivation to go out and mow this lawn. So I was a little sad today, but maybe I'll get it together tomorrow, baby. How you feeling today? What's up with you?
I'm cold right now.
Cold. We got to turn the AC. Look, we cold right now. Like, we should not be cold right now. And I don't even think the AC is on, right? Mm-mm. This is just regular, like, room temperature right now. This is crazy. Mm-hmm. But all in all, we are happy, you know what I'm saying? If you guys don't know, we did just now build a home out here in North Carolina. Give it up for homeowners one time. For the one time. How does it feel being a homeowner, baby?
American dream.
It's the American dream. Shoot, this joint got some hiccups though, man. Building a house ain't all it's cranked up to be, guys. You know what I'm saying? You got to go through fixing a lot of stupidity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Going through the motions, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to just ramble on a little bit. We're going to wait for a little bit more people to pop up in the room, you know what I'm saying? Get the juices flowing. You know what I'm saying? Of course, today, if you don't know, you could just read down in the description and in the title, you will know that we are going to be talking about effective parenting. Effective parenting. This is what we need to discuss as adults. This part of the internet, this side of the internet, I see we're all adults, we're all mature people here. And, you know, many of us may have kids. And, you know what I'm saying? We may need some answers to, you know what I'm saying, certain things about parenting. We don't have all the answers. We still learning, right, baby?
Yes.
We've been parents for 17 years and still learning stuff to this day.
Nobody knows the right way.
Right. So it's like, I remember the first day my oldest daughter was born. It was a life-changing experience for me. First of all, I was 17 years old and I had just cut an umbilical cord. Like, really, what is an umbilical cord at that age? Like, you understand what I'm saying? And it was like, when I did do that, you know, of course we've seen it in the movies, but they don't really illustrate like
what it feel like.
The feeling and honestly the connection though, like I felt like connected to my daughter at that moment. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the first boob, like my first little boo-boo that I had to tend to or something like that. You know what I'm saying? My first little project on her or whatever. It was just weird, but it just like grew me close. It was like an eye opener at the same time. Like, nah, this is really happening, bro. It's really has happened already because you done gave birth already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And give it up for women one time for the one time for being able to bear children. Human beings in your belly. That is disgusting, but it's beautiful. I love it.
It's not disgusting.
Nah, that joint is nasty. The whole giving birth process, ugh. That's not an appetizing sight. I'll just be honest with you, baby. That joint is tough. Hey, yo, anybody in the chat, any dads in the chat, if you have ever experienced what they call it, pregnancy sympathy or something like that, or pregnancy pains or something like that. Sympathy pains. Give me a 1 in the chat, man, because they don't believe us. They don't believe that it's real, man. Like, I know we really go through it with you guys. It might not be the same. What you think we don't experience other than the pain?
The whole thing, you're not nauseous. You don't have to pee every 5 minutes. Your body's not changing and getting big and your breasts aren't sore. And you're not sleeping uncomfortably. You're not having something moving inside of you and stretching.
True.
Your feet aren't swollen.
Damn, she still got more. She still got more. But well, with that, you know what I'm saying, if you have a baby dad or, you know what I'm saying, that loves you and care about you, then the pains and discomfort you are experiencing, he will tend to experience that as well. You know what I'm saying?
You experience those things?
Well, I've been nauseous. When Jamisa was coming out, I was nauseous.
That does not count. Try being nauseous just because you woke up.
Damn.
Or wake up because you are nauseous and have to throw up.
Well, again, baby, I commend you. I thank you. I love you for having my 3 big-headed children. Beautiful big-headed children. They BBHs, y'all. Beautiful and big-headed. You know what I'm saying? But we love them. And I wouldn't trade them for the world. You know what I'm saying? What's wild is they all 3 have 3 different personalities.
Yeah.
I don't think either one of them are alike.
No.
Which is why I think it's so hard to be parents.
You can't because it's not one size fit all.
Right.
You have to switch up your parenting for each child.
You have to learn how to be a parent for each child. Exactly. And then as you are a parent for each individual child, now you also have to figure out how to be a parent for the collective. How to be fair and impartial, how to make them all as a collective feel good. You know what I'm saying? With certain decisions. If I give one child some money, damn, how much I got to give this one? I got to give us the same amount, or should it be like half? Or, you know what I'm saying? Depending on the age, how do you do this? But nowadays, you know, back in the days, right, I was content with my mom giving, like this example, she'll give my brother $20, right? Give me 10, and maybe give my sister 10 too, or give her 5. But we were good with that.
Yeah.
We were fine with it. My brother's 4 years older than me. I'm 4 years older than my little sister. So it makes sense what I'm doing with $20. I'd be good with the 10. That's good candy. For the 90s, that is good candy.
Yeah.
And a couple 50-cent sodas. You know what I'm saying? So nowadays, we have a 17 and a 14. She'll be 14 this year. That's a 4-year gap. And what we give the 17, the 14-year-old is expecting as well.
Yeah.
So we give 17, 20, 14, she's looking for that dub. She's looking for that dub, bro. And that's where it's weird for us because we weren't raised that way. We were raised on, look, listen, you don't get as much as the oldest. You know what I'm saying?
But at what age how old were y'all when she broke it down like that?
Yeah, we were a lot
Younger.
younger than that.
Because the older one, you give them more because they can go out.
Yeah.
But the younger ones, they're not going anywhere without you, really.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
they don't really need that much.
That's true. That's
As
true.
the
That's
older
true.
one.
Do you think, what do you think that we should tell the people as far as people that, you know what I'm saying, having multiple kids and stuff like that has multiple kids? What is a good strategy when it comes to being fair amongst the collective?
Fair in what way? Like in what?
Emotionally.
Em-
Like for instance, James wants you to spend some time with him while he plays the game.
Oh.
But Jaylene wants to watch freaking...
At the same time?
Yeah,
You're
like...
gonna have to take turns. And spend time with each one of them.
So how do you tell the kids that? Like, James came to you first. It's 12 in the afternoon. James
Then
said
he's first.
so he's first. So what do you tell Jaylene when she come in the room at 12:10? Like, but mommy, I wanted to watch Love and Hip Hop with you.
Well, we'll watch it after I spend some time with James. Like that kind of thing. But see, these kids are so frustrating. If you don't do it now, then they ain't gonna want to do it later.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Yeah. Because nowadays, kids have attitudes with their parents, and they show them. They actually show their attitude. Like, remember back in the days when we were kids, we'll probably go in the room and like cuss our parents out in our head. We wouldn't even say. We might move our lip like. Be at the door, flinching at the door, you know what I'm saying? But nowadays, they be like, oh, I don't like, they'll say something either as they walking away or it's weird, you know what I'm saying? Because immediately we deem that as disrespect. Yo, you being disrespectful. And then when you break it down to them, they like, you think that's disrespectful? Like, all I said was okay and walked away. But to us, we like, you did that too fast, or you did the okay and walk away too fast. Like, let some seconds go by or something like that. But I think a key to effective parenting in 2023 is understanding that there's a change of dynamics in personalities. We're not raising us. Yeah, we're not raising our generation's mindset. These kids today has a completely different way of thinking. And I think that is a huge key to effective parenting today in 2023. And I think that's the hardest curve for us as the parents to get over. You know what I'm saying? We got to jump that hurdle and not expect everything to be like they were back in the days.
Right.
Because it ain't back in the days no more.
No. I have so much things, all this technology, information.
Yeah. Yeah.
The schools teach them that, you're not supposed to be hit.
Right. Right. The schools literally teach the children, if your parents are doing this or saying that, come to us and tell us. Like, they had that back in the days, but now it's like, it's at a different level now. And it kind of gives the kids a power that they shouldn't really have, because they could really abuse it, come home and disrespect the heck out of their parents. And the second that they get disciplined, it's like, oh, I'm going to go tell my school. And then now it's a whole big old issue. You know what I'm saying?
No. It's needed because some kids are really getting
Nah, yeah,
abused.
some kids are really like out there getting wild up, but not the majority. You're not gonna sit here and act like that.
But I don't believe in hitting. I don't think that's not normal, because you don't grow up and get a job and you do something wrong at work, your boss don't hit you. So why would you teach your kids that a punishment is a physical thing? I don't think that's right.
And that's another thing that comes with effective parenting, understanding your partner's parenting styles. Because I believe in a good tap here and there, pat pat. I believe in that. Not just because I was raised with a couple pat paps when I needed one, but I've learned that being passive, even with these kids today, gets you nowhere. It would fix the problem for a couple hours, but then they right back, because there's really no fear in doing this stuff again.
Yeah, these kids, they have to be told over and over and over and over and over. And you know what's weird is when I asked my mom, she said, see, we think that we didn't do things. But when you go and ask your parents, they're going to tell you the same type of things your kids is doing, you did too.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So with that, right, would it be fair to be a little more understanding to what the kids are telling you and not thinking that they just capping and just lying all the time just to get out of trouble?
Sometimes, because they do be
Sometimes.
lying too.
Yes. Yes. And that's the hard part too, because you can never tell. You can never tell when they're being sincere or when it's straight. Well, when it's a bad lie, of course you could tell, and they tell a lot of bad lies. But sometimes they don't be lying.
Yeah. And you never know. And then
never
you
know.
think they lying.
And I think that's dangerous though, man,
Because
because it
then
makes
they
them
don't
lose
trust
trust.
you.
It makes them lose trust, bro.
It's very hard. It is.
Dads out there. I know we are sometimes the softies. We're the spoilers sometimes. I get it. We want to give the kids everything. We got a one in the chat. There we go. We want to give the kids everything. We want to, have fun and stuff like that. But guys, when it's time for punishments, I'm going to give you some tea right here, man, because I made this mistake a lot of times. When it's time for punishment, make sure it's a punishment that you can handle, not just the child. Make sure it's a punishment that you can handle, right? Because, man, I've gave so many punishments, and this is where TV fucks you up at. You're on punishment for 2 months. 2 months? That's a long time, bro. After day 3, I'm already exhausted of the punishment. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm letting them come do whatever they want to do after day 3 or 4. So I learned that's my threshold. 3 or 4 days is good enough for me. You know what I'm saying? But if for so long, I'm a month, 2 weeks, 2 months, whatever, boom, 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 smoking them, and then not following through. What that does is, in turn, it tells the child, man, daddy ain't about that life. He just talking. He chatting right now.
That's why you got to give a good, solid,
You got to give a solid,
reasonable.
reasonable punishment, bro, that you can handle. Because all in all, bro, they're not going to come out and do whatever they want to do until you say it, until you promote it anyway. So if you know that all you can handle is a week, let that be your worst punishment. So that means your regular punishment should be like 2 or 3 days. But when you want to max somebody out, all you can handle is a week, I bet this is your maximum punishment. But Mom Dukes, y'all got to help out too, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes when Pop Dukes or there's a punishment being handed out and we can't handle it, like, yo, just let him go to the park. You got to snap him back into place. Like, no, babe, remember what you said. Let's not do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's one thing. So, and I can see in the chat that comment right there. You know what's crazy? Because I was speaking with the pastor about that quote in the Bible, spare the rod, spoil the child, whatever. He said people always say that part, but they don't finish the complete thing, and it doesn't mean what we think it means.
So elaborate.
I wish I can.
So it just stops there.
He explained it to me, but I don't remember exactly what he said. But I remember the part where he said it doesn't mean what we think it means. And I was, I like to read a lot of different things. There's this tribe in one of those deserted places or whatever that still is closer to, what we were back in the day. They're not modernized. And they were talking about how they discipline their children. They do not hit them, and their kids are the most well-behaved. So, I mean, there's something to that. Like, you don't have to hit your children. If there's this whole group of people that never hit their kids and their kids don't misbehave, they tend to their emotional needs more and speak with them and punish them in other ways, like natural consequences, instead of hitting them.
Well, with that's cool. That sounds pretty and beautiful.
A natural consequence would be you tell your kid to wear their coat. They don't want to wear their coat and it's cold outside. Okay, fine. They go outside and it'll be cold. That's a natural consequence. They're like, okay, I decided not to wear this coat. Now I'm cold. Next time I will wear the coat.
But isn't that encouraging being disobedient, though? Because you just let disobedience just walk out the door after you told them to put the coat on. They said, nah, forget what you want me to do. I'm going to do what I want to do.
But they got punished because they're cold. Don't like give them a coat. Like, no, you chose to do this. You're gonna suffer the consequences. There's consequences to your actions.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. But then do you see me? You see how I look at it? I look different parenting styles. That is, to me, immediate disrespect. The moment I tell you, obviously I'm telling you to wear a coat because it's cold outside, right? I'm your parent. I'm here to protect you. I know what's best for you, right? For the most part. And you still walk out the door. We about to go to wherever we go, and you don't got a coat on? And then when I was like, you wear your coat out, oh, I don't want to wear one? Did I ask you what you wanted, or where was your coat? What question did I ask you? Because I didn't ask you what you wanted. I asked you where was the coat that I told you to put on. So the fact that your little self made a decision to trump me, you know what I'm saying, your leader, I am one of your leaders, your mother's your other leader, it is what it is, we are their leaders. The fact that you made that decision, you went directly against my law, my rule, my asking. It's not even something hard. You know what I'm saying? So that to me is disrespect. It's a sign of disrespect and disobedience. And I wouldn't let that slide. But what you said is powerful though, because they go their ass out there, they cold. Hey, Daddy, can I have your nope? That's gonna hurt too. That's gonna hurt too. And then maybe if that happens enough, then they be like, let me just listen to this nigga. Like he probably on to something. Yeah, he probably on to something. That's the more passive and passive and patient way.
Yeah, it is.
That's beautiful because I don't got that in me. I'm right now. Like, nigga, I told you this right now, so this is what we're gonna do. We got Chris Johnson that says, I only do I told you so with my kids. They usually learn. Yeah, you can do the I told you so's, but sometimes the I told you so's hurt you as a parent too, though.
Why?
Because, man, like, if I tell one of my kids, don't touch the stove, it's hot, right? And they go ahead and touch the stove, burn their hand. Now they got 2-degree burns on their hands. They on fire. They hurting. It's a I told you so moment. Yeah, I did tell you so. But I'm hurting because you hurting. Like, you my baby. Like, I'm like, damn, man, my baby got this damn burn on. Just like my daughter, man. One day she like, what? How old was Jaylene? Like 1 year old, bro. We still in the army. We go to IHOP, I think, or something like that. We travel, we drive, get there, park the car. Oh my gosh, my poor baby that can't stop touching. They give us a hot, like a hot teapot or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? To pour some hot water in the cup, you get the tea bag in and all that.
No, it was a hot cup of water.
It was just a hot cup of water?
Yeah.
I bet. It was that. It was a very long time ago. This girl decides to want to reach for the cup, spills the hot water on her hand, and gets a huge blister on it. And she's crying, she's in pain, she's in agony. Initially, I'm like, why are you touching so much? You know what I'm saying? But then my second emotion was, damn, man, that shit look like it hurt, bro. My baby got to go through this, bro. Like, damn, son. Like, it hurts me as the parent at the same time. And I know you felt the same way, too. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you got to care for it, 2 days later after. You got to put the Neosporin and stuff all around it and soothe it. And they still in pain. And it's like, damn, man, I wish my baby ain't have to go through this.
I think that we put too much on them. We treat them like they're adults.
Ooh,
and they are not.
Talk on it, baby.
Like, in that situation, she's only one. It shouldn't have been in her reach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we could have took accountability for that.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm going to get to this next point, then I'm going to read my boy Don Watt's comment. So with the parents expecting them to move a little more mature than what they are, this is another powerful thing I learned 2 years ago, just 2 years ago, ladies and gentlemen. And I think this is so great. And I need y'all to pay attention to this, especially the dads out there, man, because like I said, we tend to be a little more stern and have higher expectations, and we're a little less soft on the kids.
You just said you soft on the kids.
I'm talking about as far as like discipline and stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're the disciplinaries. It is what it is, bro. So, yeah, I give them whatever they want, though. What you want, a car? All right, let's go see how much one costs. But listen, guys. When we give a demand to a child, right? go clean your room, right? And they go ahead and clean their room to their expectations. Mm-hmm. We cannot get mad at said kid if we've never taught them how to clean a room. If we've never set our expectations, we cannot be mad if they don't perform to our expectations. Mm-hmm. All right? For years, I'll tell my kids, Jaleesa would tell our kids, clean the room, clean your mess out the living room, wash the dishes, because washing the dishes does mean the counter and the stove too, the pots on the stove. That's washing the dishes. You understand what I'm saying? Do these things. Now, we know how we would do it, you know? So we would expect for them to do the same. But nah, when we tell James to go clean his room, and then we go see what he done cleaned up, this dude still got cups on the floor, big old packages or whatever on it's just still messy. But you know what he did? He made his bed up. He closed his closet. He solidified his toys in a corner, didn't put it in the toy box, but he just put them somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Pushed them under the bed.
Pushed them under the bed, got shit out the way. You know what I'm saying? To us, of course, that's not a clean room. But at the same time, if I never came in there and said, look, this is what you do, this is how you clean a room, I can never expect them to do that off the rip. So what I did, baby, tell them what I did.
You cleaned it for him.
I went to all three of my children's room. They teenagers, and you know what I'm saying? And I cleaned their room spotless. Mind you, these rooms were horrible. They were, I'm finding all types of spoons and forks I was looking for. I thought they just walked out the house. I'm like, oh, this is where the spoon is at, or the saucer, or this cup. I was looking for this cup for 3 months. It's in one of the kids' room. You know what I'm saying? So I cleaned the room, and I had them sit there, stand there, and watch me. I said, don't touch nothing. Don't help me with anything. Don't move a bag. Don't do anything. Stand right here in this corner. I'm going to teach you how to clean this room. So when I tell you to clean this room again, this is what I'm expecting. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Now, granted, after that day, and I tell them to clean their room, it hasn't turned out that good, right? But it has turned out a lot better, though.
Yes.
It did get better, you know, so.
And you know what? Growing up, you know, I didn't notice certain things or think or I just didn't pay attention. But now that like I'm older and we have our houses and stuff, mm-hmm. I notice things like the baseboards gets dirty. You got to scrub them. Like little things like that you do not pay attention to as a kid and you think it's clean.
Right.
When you get older, you realize, oh God, this is really dirty.
It's dirty. It's nasty. Like even things like cleaning the toilets. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, get your kids to start cleaning that toilet out. Mm-hmm. Get them used to it now as kids. Don't keep picking up that toilet scrubber. And get them kids in there scrubbing their own pee off the rim of them toilets. Yeah, get them to do that.
And on the sides where the floor is.
Get them, especially the boys.
I did not used to notice that back in the days, but that gets a lot of pee on it.
Especially your sons. Especially your sons. Get your sons in them bathrooms and tell them to start cleaning that pee that they done left all around that toilet. Because when you got to go in there, damn near throwing up because you smelling somebody else pee while you wiping, it's disgusting, ain't it? I bet. Now, I bet you if you have him over there cleaning it up, you know what I'm saying? He might be a little more careful. Like, man, I don't want to smell that pee no more, and I'm going to aim for this toilet water a little better. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to get to my boy Donald Watts. He said, the punishment must fit the crime.
That's true.
And be understood by the child.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's give a Don DeMarco for my boy Donald Watts in the building with that dope comment. That is definitely true. The punishment should fit the crime.
Yes, and you can't make them clean the whole house because they did a little spill in the kitchen. That's not fair.
Right. That's a fact. So we got Donald Watts again. We got Proverbs 13:24. Whoever spares the rod hates their children, but the one who loves their children is careful to discipline them. This doesn't imply that, what that says, Anton? Oh, okay. Anton has to be beaten in every situation. That is true. That is true. The rod doesn't have to be a physical thing.
It doesn't.
Rod could be.
People take it as a physical thing, but it doesn't have to be.
The rod could be.
The whole Bible is a book of proverbs and metaphors, and you interpret it how you want. People interpreted that as an actual stick or something to beat your kid with.
That's true. That's true. Man, I'm going to tell y'all, my dad, man, he rest in peace. You guys heard me talk about this dude plenty of times. He was a great person, a great man, a great father. That man has never, not once, put his hands on me. Not once. Now, I wasn't a bad child, but I did some things that was in certain households would have been worthy of a little boy pow on the side of my head, you know what I'm saying, when it came to school or whatever.
But who did you respect the most?
It was my dad.
Yeah.
It was my dad. And what he did was he made me feel sorry to disappoint him. He never beat me, bro. But I loved him that much to where hurting him hurt me.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And I never wanted to hurt my dad, ever. Like, one of the reasons why I became successful and got up off my feet and did what I had to do, I wouldn't say it was to impress him, but it was to follow his lead. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to make my father proud.
Right.
I wanted to make my parents proud.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I think that's part of the duties as a child, bro. You should live to want to make your parents proud. That would make you do the right things. If you, you know what I'm saying? If you live to make your parents proud, you know what I'm saying? And that should make you happy.
Yeah.
Not saying you have to spend your whole life just doing everything. Just, oh yeah, my dad would be proud of this. Oh, my dad would be proud of that too. Oh, he'll be proud. No, of course you got to live for you.
Right.
But your overall
Be
story.
a productive person.
Yes, your overall story should make your parents proud.
Yeah.
Like the good folks that we need to talk. We are making our parents proud with this platform. And so is my boy Alan doing his thing over there on the ones and twos, producing, bringing up those chats. Y'all think he's in the background, guys? He's watching over us like God.
Please.
Yo, well, give it up for Alan one time for the one time, man. Good brother right there. But we got my boy Chris Johnson over here with the super sticker, man. Give it up for you one time. For the one time, we're gonna. I like that one time for the one time, man. Thanks a lot for you, brother. But yeah, what I want to do now, guys. I heard this pretty interesting scenario that happened on the radio today on K97.5. I'm not going to explain it too much. I'm just going to play it and then we'll discuss it. Cool with you, Bat?
Yep.
Let's do it.
On the morning hustle.
Good morning, Corey.
My cousin, he's like my blood brother, right? Our boys are our best friends. You know, my son is 10 and his son is 9.
Okay.
And so he approached me recently, you know, asking if my boy could join, you know, his son's birthday celebration at Disney World. You know, and so I said yes, you know, but only if my son can get his grades up in school. And well, you know, we're 2 weeks away from the trip. I'm not gonna lie, my son's grades have just gotten worse. So I sat down with my cousin and I was like, yo, bro, I was like, my son is out. My cousin went off on me, and then he goes on to tell me that he already bought the Disney tickets and the airfare. You know, he wants me to reimburse for what it cost him. I never gave him permission to pay for anything.
How much money are we talking?
Oh man, it's a couple grand.
Right.
You know, he should have let me know before he, you know, bought the tickets.
Let's see what the hustlers have to say, man. 866-HUSTLE-8.
So, baby, the dad states, listen, the only way little homie is going on any Disney World trip is if he improves those grades. Now, cousin goes out, spends a few grand on his trip, so confident that cousin he gonna be right. He gonna tighten up. You know what I'm saying? Report card come through. Cousin drops the ball.
Bruh.
Drops the ball. Now, thousands of dollars is invested, and now Papa Duke's got to make a decision.
That's a hard one. But his cousin he should have told him or something like, I'm going to be paying for these tickets or whatever. So he can be informed. He could have checked on his son's grades and see where it was going, if it was looking good or whatever. And then if it wasn't, dad could have seen like why is he not performing well? Because sometimes school is hard and some kids just don't get it right away, or
That's true.
they don't have enough time. Like the teachers be running through lessons like
Nowadays,
really
yeah.
quick, you know. So it could have been an issue with that he could have addressed, but to have to pay back the money, that's a hard one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to piggyback over what you just said, you know what I'm saying? The cousin should have waited. I think the cousin just tried to set the dad up. Like, yo, look, this money already invested. You have no choice but to say, I bet cousin could come through. Because the money's invested. I think that was a slick move. But as far as the parenting side goes, right? What do I do as father? I told son, the only way you get this reward is if you complete this mission. Mission was complete. Do I still reward you? Do I still allow you to go? My answer, unfortunately, is no.
No.
You stupid.
Were you this is a 9-year-old boy. Were you helping him and watching what he was doing during that time?
Now that's something else to consider as well. Was I helping you to be better? Or did I just tell you to be great like I said with the room? Did I just say be great and not assist you?
Right.
You know?
It's a 9-year-old. Once again, sometimes we expect them to think like us, but they don't.
Right.
Our brains are not fully functioning until 25, and we're asking a 9-year-old
To be super responsible. But that's really their only responsibilities at that age. And honestly, at 4th grade, bro, that's not what they doing in 4th grade, bro. They doing a couple math problems, you know what I'm saying? A little addition, subtraction, maybe some division and multiplication.
So were
there.
you doing your job as a parent to watch him and check his work and see if he's understanding it?
Right. True. That's true. Because if I know that my child's struggling, it's me. It's up to me. It's my due diligence to step in and assist.
Yeah. But if the child is just like, I don't want to do it, not even trying, nothing, then no, you can't go.
Right. Yeah. But if little man is trying and failing, then he obviously just needs some more help. Which and you see that how powerful that is? 2 different perspectives, 2 different parent styles, but she was able to, hey babe, look at it this way. And I'm able to understand that makes sense. Because initially I'm like, yo, bro, you failed. It's over. You know what I'm saying? I'm not thinking about like, damn, but did I help you though? You struggling in school. Your school is telling me you're struggling. What am I doing? Because it sounds like he's probably a single dad because he ain't mentioned a mom at all. We don't know the situation with Mom Dukes. So most likely a single dad. What am I doing as your parent to assist you? You're my child. I have to assist you. You know, so.
But I probably would let them go.
Now looking back on it, now look, boom. Listen, I need a 1 in the chat right now if you ever been through this before. I need a 1 in the chat if you've been through this. Have you guys ever gotten into trouble as a kid and your mom or your dad or maybe both was like, nah, we ain't going to the movies or something like that today because you ain't clean your room right or something. For some reason, your prize was going to be taken away. But last moment, at the last minute, they was like, man, hey, you can have this game or put your shoes on, we still gonna go. Because either money was already invested and they can't take it back, but they wanted you to feel that hurt of possibly, you know what I'm saying, having that reward taken away from you. You know what I'm saying? But they knew in the back of their head, we're still going to let him go, but we need to let him feel it for a few hours. You know what I'm saying? We're going to fuck his day up, but we're going to take him at the end of the day. Put a 1 in the chat if you ever been through that, because I think that's effective as well.
You think so?
Yeah, it's a way to, because when you punish somebody, you really want them to feel the consequences mentally there.
But did they still not clean their room?
Now, that's interesting too. Now, if you was, I think if they did, that would have just worked out better for the parent, because then that could have drove the parent to be like, I bet, see, this decision made them go clean their room. But if you just sat down on the couch like, fuck it, all right, man, I ain't clean my room. I ain't going there, fuck it. And you just sat down and then you still got your reward, I think the parents took an L right there. Yeah, I think the parents took an L. But sometimes as parents, we take L's, man. And that comes with investment.
If you don't go, if you spent money, you taking the L either way.
You taking the L, so.
Ooh, unless you bring like your little niece or nephew instead.
But
of
nah. What's that gonna do is that's gonna make your child start resenting your niece and nephew. Because I had a family member in my life that used to do that. You know what I'm saying? With my
But if you
sibling.
ain't do what you were supposed to do, no.
I usually did what I was supposed to do, but that's just my unique predicaments. But yeah, you don't take from one child and give to the other. That causes a rivalry. That causes jealousy. That causes resentment. That causes a lot of hatred that you can't fix. You can't fix that. Don't ever do that. Because now you're playing one child against the other. It doesn't matter if it's your niece or your little cousin or whatever. Once that child knows that this was taken from me and given to someone else, they're gonna look at them like, was they like you better than me or something like that? Like why they gave it to you? Why they couldn't just throw it in the garbage, or you know what I'm saying, or just not give it to you, or give it to me later or something like that? Like it's gonna be resentment, especially if you do it constantly. That's no good.
I never been in that situation, so I don't know.
We're gonna give it up for my boy Donald Watts again with the super chat, $20 super chat one time for the one time. Let's promote productive conversations. Promote productive conversations, man. You know what I'm saying? And that is true too. Promote productive conversations. I like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We have to have those conversations in front of our children too.
Yep.
Your children can't just hear mommy and daddy arguing when they speaking to each other. Those can't be the only conversations these kids are witnessing from you guys. These kids need to witness love and respect.
Yep. Because that's the only way they're going to learn how to do it. See, they don't listen to what we say. They do what we do.
That's a fact. That is a fact. Because that's the first thing what Jamisa said. Quick. Well, you did that. You got a tattoo when you was 16.
Yep.
Well, with that, is it healthy to tell our kids our stories when we was growing up as they age? Especially the bad ones, the shit that we wasn't supposed to be doing. Is it healthy? Like, is it doing any positive for the child?
They ask.
But we could just be like,
You just gonna lie?
nah. But I don't think that we should speak about that now. Maybe in a couple years we can have that conversation.
Okay. That
You know what I'm
sounds
saying?
good.
Yeah, because we've learned the hard way. You know what I'm saying? Our oldest baby done went off and got pissed up and tatted up. You know what I'm saying? And guess what her excuse was? Well, mommy did it. Mommy did it when she was younger. And that's kind of what that put us to a point where we was like, damn, we can't really even say that. Like we was once there at that age.
You know what she likes to use on me?
What?
Well, at least I'm not pregnant.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yep. And then I'm like, you're right though.
Man, we just got to give it up one time for the one time. You know what I'm saying? And we got my boy S. Dot in the building. One and no givebacks.
One.
If I don't earn it, I don't earn it.
One and no gift. Oh, okay. He said
Oh,
one
he
to your-
gave one in the chat.
Okay.
All right, bet. That kind of confusing. I was trying to get that at first. But no, that's a fact. If you don't earn it, you don't earn it. But that's the dad in us, though, bro. That's the dad in us, bro. Like, we want to lay down this discipline. It's in us to lay down this discipline. And really, when we're doing this, sometimes we are not understanding too much. Bros, I'm suffering from that, man. I'm learning how to be a better listener. I'm learning to be a better listener, a better understander. I'm learning to be less of a fix-it. We have to learn to be less of fix-its. If you have a child that's coming to you, Dad, Tyrone or Tony is bullying me at school. And this, that, and the third, and he's taking my lunch box and everything every day and whatever the case may be. Dude, sometimes little homie or little mamas just want to tell you about it. They might not want you to say, well, what you did? Did you hit him? Did you defend yourself? What you want to do? They probably don't want to hear that because they're probably scared to do that anyway. You understand what I'm saying? Because if they wasn't, they probably would have did it already. Probably, boom, ran in his jaw already. Sometimes they just want to get that off their chest and talk about things. I had to learn that with my daughter earlier this year. Sometimes, yeah, look, Daddy, I just want to talk to you about this. I just want to say this to you while you shut the fuck up. Shut up. and hear this problem that's going on in my life. Don't give me a solution right now. Hear it.
Yeah.
Because these kids nowadays, man, what are we to them? Old school. So
Okay.
yeah, we old heads. So like they don't like listening to us that much anyway until they run into that brick wall.
They
Unfortunately,
don't think we understand.
they don't think we understand. They don't think we've been there and done that. So if all we're doing is trying to fix what they not gonna listen to anyway, it stops them from communicating with us.
Right. If you listen, that builds trust, and then eventually they'll listen.
Yeah. Hopefully, man. Hopefully. There's no right or wrong answers with this parenting stuff. Man, this shit is hard. It's hard. It's hard. And you learn every day. I honestly believe not just with parenting, but you learn every day in life.
So, there are different types of parenting styles.
You trying to get to Google?
Just put it in. I'm gonna ask you what's yours.
What's my parenting style? You want me to just come off the top of the head, or they got some more? Okay.
You can read it.
All right. So these are the different types of parenting styles. You got authoritarian, which is self explanatory. You got authoritative. That's kind of self-explanatory too. But I think they run in and they coexist with each other. You got the permissive and you got the uninvolved. That's the most self-explanatory one. So these the different meanings
Yes,
for
that's the authoritarian.
All right. So with the authoritarian, this is the kind of the trace you have. You believe kids should be seen and not heard. Ooh. When it comes to rules, you believe it's my way or the highway, and you don't take your child's feelings into consideration. Ooh, that's authoritarian. Now, authoritative parenting, you put a lot of effort into creating and maintaining a positive relationship with your child. You explain the reasons behind your rules. You set limits, enforce rules, and give consequences, but take your child's feelings into consideration. Okay. And then you got the permissive parenting. You set rules, but rarely enforce them. You don't give out consequences very often. You think your child will learn best with little interference from you. And then, of course, you got the uninvolved parenting. You don't ask your child about school or homework. You rarely know your child or is who they are or know who they're with. And you don't spend much time with your child. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm a mixture of the authoritarian and authoritative. I'm a little mixture of that. The parts of authoritarian I'm really not is you believe kids should be seen and not heard. That's terrible. That's terrible. But when it comes to rules, I believe it's my way or the highway? For the most part, yes, I do believe that. I believe when it comes to my children, not with my marriage, but with my children, yeah, it is my way or the highway. Until you're out on your own and making your own life decisions, yes, you are going to do this shit my way. No, I don't want no pop-ups popping up. You don't take your child's feelings into consideration. Nah, I take my child's feelings into consideration. I might not let them know that, but their feelings are definitely into consideration.
But if they don't know, then they think that you don't care about their feelings.
Yeah. But that's me. Sometimes you got to put on a shell. You got to put on a hard shell, man. You have to. You know more than anybody. I care about their feelings. I'm complaining to you all the time. Now I think I made her sad, man. Oh man, she gonna have an attitude with me for 3 days, bro. I'm stressing. As soon as I say something to one of my kids, I go run to Jaleesa. Like, damn, man, this is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Every time. But in front of them, I gotta be. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But the part of the authoritative parenting. You put a lot of your effort into creating and maintaining a positive relationship. Yeah, I could say that for the most part. I don't put a lot of effort into putting myself in front of them. I try to give them their space for the most part, but I do make sure that I'm very present in their life, though. You explain the reasons behind your rules. Yes, I definitely do that. You set limits, enforce rules, and give consequences, but take your child's feelings into consideration. Yeah, I'm more of authoritative parenting than anything.
You guys in the chat put which one you might be if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
a parent, or what you might want to be if you decide to become one later on.
Right. What do you think is the healthiest parenting style? Authoritative, authoritarian, permissive, or uninvolved? What do you guys think is the most effective parenting style? What would you think you are, baby?
Authoritative.
The second one?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
And a little bit of permissive.
And a little permissive. Yeah. I could definitely agree with that. But
What?
yeah,
Because
get the mic over there.
I do think that sometimes you gotta let them learn on their own. So it says you think your child will learn best with the little interference from you. Yep. Some things they do have to learn on their own.
That's true.
But I do like to set boundaries, and I do work hard to be present and be in their lives. I'm always asking them about their friends.
Oh, yeah.
They don't like for me to ask, but I'm still going to ask. You want to go somewhere? I need to know who. I need to know something. You can't just ask and
That's
it's
a
not going
fact.
to work like that.
That's a fact.
But apparently, a lot of parents don't care.
Yeah. They just let them that's the uninvolved shit.
Yeah.
They just let them do whatever they want to do. They let their devices, their chips, raise their children. Chips are raising. This is a chip, guys. I don't know if you've seen my clip on Instagram. This is a chip. Your phone, your tablet, your laptop, your computer. It's a chip. A lot of these chips are raising children,
Yeah.
and a lot of kids aren't involved in it. But we did see that
This
last
phone
week.
is like the TV for us.
True. Nobody really utilizes like TV and cable anymore. Like who's on cable or direct TV? We got Chris Johnson with the authoritative. I think that's a really good parenting style. Not just because that's who I am, but I think that's really good, especially for a dad. For a dad, that's really good.
Yeah.
Authoritative mixed with hands off.
Because you can't be a helicopter parent.
That's true.
I know. Sometimes I feel like I do that.
But as a dad, I'm sure my boy S-Dot as a dad is more authoritative, because it's as a dad you don't really want to watch your kids make a mistake. You know they about to hit that wall, and you like, fuck it, let them experience it. I can't do that, bro. I can't. I'm gonna be like, yo, there's a wall in front of you. You better watch out. And when they will look back like, oh, head, boom, then it's like, I bet they deserve that. But if they just stopped at their tracks, like, okay, I got you. There's a wall there. I don't see it. I bet I'm going to listen to you. That would be so great. But that never happens, though. That never happens.
Yeah. Oh, so you remember I was telling you about, or did you see it? That little girl that fought the teacher.
Because of the mom?
No, because of the phone.
Oh, yeah. That's terrible, man.
Yes.
That's terrible. That girl, that child was wrong.
You think the child was wrong?
Yeah. Yeah, like you don't, first of all, that's another thing that these kids don't understand. They don't understand authority. They believe if you ain't my mama, you ain't my daddy, I don't have to listen to you. I don't have to respect you. That's not the way life goes. And as parents, I think we have dropped the ball with not instilling those basic necessities to understand what respect is. You can't have these certain tones with adults. You can't say these certain things to adults. When it comes to adult conversations, you are not to interject. These are basic principles we were raised with, and we know how to navigate. I love elders, the ones that ain't grumpy. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I love elders. These
The one
kids,
that's not grumpy.
Yeah.
But what if they think that they're grumpy?
but
or
that's the
rude or
thing. That's the thing.
disrespectful?
But that's the thing, right? When you're in school, their personality don't really matter. They are of authority. So if that child is in class and that teacher is saying no phones, no chips allowed,
That's what it is.
that's what it is. There's no talk back, bro. There's no nothing. You understand what I'm saying? But when you get the balls to stand up, make a show in front of your little friends, attack this woman because she has your chip and she's embarrassing you. That's what's happening. She was embarrassed.
Because I think that all the other students got their phone back but her.
But still, you don't put your hands on no freaking adult.
You don't.
You know, especially no damn teacher, bro.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
Come on. Those were the second most respected people for us growing up. It's like our parents, then our teachers and principals and stuff like that.
Yep. That's
What?
so true.
I was scared to get in trouble by my teacher.
Sometimes more so than your parents.
Yeah, you crazy. That's wild. I've never seen that like growing up. I've never seen it. It probably happened like once in like the real bad kids, but it's happening a lot now. Maybe it's at the same volume, but you know, social media allows us to see it, it exposes us to it, but it's still a super uncomfortable thing. I do not condone any child putting their hands on a teacher first. Now, if it's a self-defense thing, teacher done came in and pow, smack fire out of you because you ain't sit down or something like that, or you said something wrong to that person. Now, of course, children, defend yourselves. But for a child to get up and think that she could buck or he could buck and get crazy with a teacher,
Yeah.
and I kind of blame the parents. I kind of blame the parents for that. Because we like I said, when it comes to that respect shit, we drop the ball. Because I feel, honestly, this is how I feel, and I'm big on accountability, guys. I feel in a lot of ways, our generation of parents kind of suck because we are more friendly with our children than parents. We want to take the friend route. You know, we want to sit down and laugh, joke, and, you know what I'm saying, have sometimes adult conversations with our kids. I was raised, listen, you stay in a child's place. These kids never even heard that term. This generation, stay in a child's place. What is a child's place? Whatever you speaking about, I can speak about too, because it's a free world and I can say and do whatever I want. Nah, that's not how this goes. So in a way, I think we dropped the ball. Our parenting styles, outside of those 4 categories, with the whole friendly shit, that ain't lit.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with laughing and joking with your children. I think that's good, healthy.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about like just that, but you know what I'm saying, being like I said, being more friendly with stuff, like letting them get away with saying certain things, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, girl, bye, or ain't nobody talking to you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Even though they just playing, I couldn't say ain't nobody talking to you to my mom's. What? I'd have all types of ivory soap in my mouth, boy, washed out. Or you
Nobody
wildin'.
talking to you.
You know what I'm saying? But certain things we can't be letting slide. So we got S. Eds in the building. She said, yes, moms are more helicopter. Yeah, because you guys are more nurturers. You know what I'm saying? So the helicopter thing, you know what I'm saying?
I don't mind being nosy. Who you texting? Who you talking to?
You have to. No, baby, that is great that you do that. You have to, because they have these chips. And we don't know what's going on in these chips. They could be talking to the wrong people, and you just don't know. You have to be nosy. Don't be scared to be nosy, guys.
I want to ask you this because you just said the wrong people. How do you feel about a parent telling their child you can't speak to this person?
A parent telling a child you can't speak to this person.
Like one of their friends, you can't hang out
Another
with them.
child?
Yeah.
I think it's necessary. If the parent knows that the child that she's trying to protect her child from is troublesome, or, you know, is involved in sexual activities and inappropriate shit, I agree with that. Okay. That comes with protecting your children. Okay. Your due diligence to even at least set that rule down. Now, if your child don't listen to it, that's another thing. That's not on the parent. But it's our job to at least try and guide. You know what I'm saying? All we could do is give them the directions. They're going to find shortcuts that they might think it's a shortcut. It might take them longer. You know what I'm saying? But they might go their own route. But it's our job to give them that direction. And I definitely condone that. Definitely. We got my boy Chris Johnson in the building. I told my wife when the boys was born, time gonna come when he smells himself, and I'm going to have to show him who's in charge. Time came, he respects me more. Give it up for my boy Chris Johnson one time for the one time. Letting these little niggas know what time it is. Who's really the big dad? Who's really the big homie? You musty now, nigga. Yeah, you need deodorant now. I get it. But I've been wearing deodorant for the last 30 years, bro. You ain't about to start talking. Who I'm talking to? I'm talking to you. What you mean? Oh, because you got a little height? Oh, that little boy at school scared of you, right? So you think I'm scared of you too, right? Nah, I get it. I get it. And these girls too. These girls gonna start talking to their mother crazies too. It's both of them. This generation of kids, they're just different, bro. Mm-hmm. They're rebellious. They're super rebellious. Not saying we weren't, but they are rebellious squared. For real, it's only math. That's a little insider. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, yo, Chris, I definitely agree with you, bro. And I wonder, does he respect you more or does he fear you now? What do you really think? Do you think that you instilled fear or you instilled respect in him?
It's a good one.
Because there's a huge difference with that.
There is.
My son said, and his son is taller than him, and that's what got him.
And I'm 6'1".
And he says, "Oh, that was a tall ass fight. Damn, two big ass stilts, just fighting around the damn living room."
Did you hit him or did you just?
It sounded like they had to get a little rumble on. It sounded like they had to get a little rumble, a little hands on. We ain't gonna get too in depth with it, you know what I'm saying? But it sounded like they had to get a little hands on, you know what I'm saying? But that might be necessary.
Okay.
These little niggas is different now.
Like a little.
Yeah,
A little yoke up.
Yeah, probably had to hug him really hard around his neck. Just had to hug him around his neck a little harder. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But yeah, I agree. And I don't want that day to come. Same thing amongst men, really. Yeah, for real. And you know, this is a lesson that my brother tried to teach me that I'm not always. He said he plead the fifth. I ain't mad at you, Chris. I'm not all the way in agreement with. He said, to have people fall in line, you must make them fear you.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't all the way agree with it.
Why not?
In some cases, okay, but not for you to lead your life, and especially parenting, off of straight fear. Because like I was telling my boy Chris, your son might fear you, bro. Might not respect you. Son might fear you now because he knows that you can hold your own. You know what I'm saying? He probably doubted you. You know what I'm saying? You probably woke up one morning limping like, damn, man, my muscles are all hurting. You know what I'm saying? He probably like, oh, I could take that. That ankle hurt. You know what I'm saying? Around 9 in the morning, I could test him. But you had to show and prove that, yo, look, I'm still out here. But did that make him respect you or did it make him scared to test you again? Did it make him fear you? There is a difference. Fear, I think fear disappears with time. Respect is more of a longevity thing. Yeah. It's very hard to lose respect for somebody. And in a lot of cases, it's hard to gain respect for somebody.
Yeah.
Maybe he did earn his respect with that. Who knows?
Yeah. I know a lot of people say their child should fear them, but that fear doesn't benefit the child. Like, you are their main person to go to. You are their protector. And if they fear you, they will feel like they don't have anybody on their side or in their corner that's going to protect them. And that fear, as they get older, it becomes hate. Because then they distance themselves from you and you probably don't ever see them anymore.
True. That's true. But I think in some ways, kids need to be raised to fear certain things.
They should fear the consequences, not the parent.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Fear the consequence.
Yeah.
A lot of people like to walk around this earth, this beautiful, polluted planet we live on. And they want to walk with their chin high. And they want to say, yo, I ain't scared of nothing, bro. I ain't fear what? Only thing I fear is God. That's a lot of me. I fear my wife.
Whatever.
I fear God. I fear the law. I fear failing. I fear going to jail. I fear a lot of things, bro.
Those are consequences.
Those are consequences, and that's what keeps you on a straight and narrow. Arrow. They say some of the most disciplined people on earth are military personnel, which I do agree with. Not just because I am a veteran, but because the military instills fear of consequence.
Except for
I had rebellious ways. You understand what I'm saying? But for the most part, I did fear the biggest threat they gave us. You know what the biggest threat they gave us, baby? A dishonorable discharge. That is what 90+% of the military fears is receiving a dishonorable discharge, because from day zero, when you start basic training, they instill into you. Oh, so, all right, soldier. All right, pride. Go ahead and say that. We're gonna get your ass out of here with a dishonorable discharge. You ain't gonna be able to be nothing in the civilian world. We're gonna get to that chat.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna be able to be nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that, as a human being, you're scared. Because if you receive this dishonorable discharge, one, I'm not gonna be able to be in the military no more, but damn, I'm gonna have to be on the street and be a bum? Nobody gonna hire me? They literally say McDonald's won't hire you.
Okay.
So yeah, fear, guys. Live in fear of failing. You live in fear of doing wrong. Don't sit around and act like you're the bravest. Nobody's the bravest person. Something scares you, bro. Just admit it. We got D Davis in the building. Your children shouldn't fear you or like you. They should respect you. Kids won't always like what you do as a parent, but later down the line, they will understand why you made those choices. That is a fact.
That's true.
That is a fact. Don DeMarco for
And
Davis in
then
the
they
building
begin
one
to
time.
like you
And
and
it-
appreciate you.
But then is it too late though? You don't stress your parents out your whole damn life. You mean to tell me
Your
your
whole
ass?
life.
Yeah, like nigga, for the first 21 years of your life, you done went to whore. I see you out there, S. Dot. You know what I'm saying? For the first 21 years of your life, you know, so rebellious. You ain't want to listen. You ain't want to do nothing. But now when you older, oh, I get it now, mommy. Nigga, I needed you to get that about 16 years ago. Because I got all these gray hairs now. You know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing. That's
I
why
get
we
it, though.
gotta understand. Look, these are not fully developed people.
Yeah.
Because I think if we really start thinking that way, it will take less stress and agony and annoyance off of us. Like, okay, we can't expect for them to do. We gotta children. They don't think they can't put it together. All them synapses didn't connect yet.
Right. That's real. But that's what you get into when you become a parent. What my boy S. Dot got. Article 15, that's a fact. Any type of UCMJ action. Okay, Article 15, UCMJ and combatives PT for the extreme knuckleheads. That's a fact. Any type of UCMJ action, man. I was
You used to do that extreme.
I was one of them guys that was really good at combatives though. So, but yeah, those that's what kept us in line. That chat right there, guys. Article 15, UCMJ, which is Uniform Code of Military Justice, made basically any type of court proceedings, and combatives PT. Combatives PT is basically
on that combative.
you gonna fight. That's what kept us in line. Fear of those things right there. Give it up for my boy S. Dot one time for the one time in the building. Thank you for your services, sir. Whore. I can tell he's Army because he said whore. Yeah, anybody that's in the chat, man, that's veterans, thank you for your service. I hear that this month is Veteran Appreciation Month. I heard that on the radio. I never heard of that month before, but that's
Every
something they
month is a
jacking down.
month.
Every month's a month
And
now,
then
right?
they share months.
Yeah, right. So I'm hearing that this is Veteran Appreciation Month. So any veterans in the house, any
Thank you,
active duty,
veterans.
thank you guys for your services, man. You guys are awesome and spectacular. Keep doing your thing. Don't get that dishonorable discharge. And you will be fine. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, hey, let's get a couple more chats in the building, man. We're about to wrap this episode up. If we have any more, you know what I'm saying? But we got my boy Chris in the building. If you can't get respect, fear is just as effective. See, Chris, you a gangster. You a gangster, bro. I can tell. Look at the picture. He a gangster. He trying to hide it though. He got the nice. I get it. I get what you saying, bro. Like, and I just can't jack the fair too much when it comes to day-to-day activities. Like, I don't want people at my job to fear me. You understand what I'm saying? I would rather the respect. And if I can't earn their respect, I need to distance myself from them. Because now
About the
it's
children, though.
huh?
The children.
Yeah, but I said the fear thing. Like
Yeah.
Remember I said my brother had said no to get respect. You got to make them fear you. Mm-hmm. But for the children, though, I don't want my kids to fear me either, man.
Not on a day-to-day.
Yeah, not on that. I want them to fear the consequence. But hey, if that's your parenting style, if that's what works for you, bro, you got to do your. Because your kids ain't my kids. You know what I'm saying? My son ain't get handed his on the arms yet and have to. So maybe I just say reach this point in my parenting journey to where I had to instill some fear. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But you know what? In a way, I did though. In a way, I did something to instill fear with the phones.
Oh, yeah. But then, I can't. I don't got my glasses on.
No, I got you, baby. So my boy Chris is back in the building. He said, but then there's understanding. I neither fear nor respect my father. Mm. But as I became an adult male, I understand. That's a fact. And it takes for us to cross that threshold, that adult threshold. Because growing up, we ain't trying to understand shit.
No.
We think we know everything.
Yep.
This old head don't know what time it is. It's 20 whatever, and you don't know what you're talking about. That's how people feel when they growing up. I'm pretty sure my boy Chris thought that his parents was wrong about a few things that they was dead ass right about. Dead ass right about. And we got the wrench turner in the building. One time for the one time with the $10. And we gonna give it up for him. One time for the one time. I think I'm becoming very animated with this podcast and stuff. I ain't gonna lie, but I like who I'm transforming into. That's me in real life. I just get to put it on the microphone now, baby. It's cool and it's fun. It's fun. You know, I'm very happy. My boy Allen has said something on one of his lives a couple days ago. He said, let's get away from something along the lines of let's get away from the I hate women, you know what I'm saying, conversation. You know, women ain't shit conversation. Let's get away from that. Because we all ain't shit. Males and females. We all got our problems. Right?
Yep.
So it's not all about just putting accountability on women with things. But when women needs to be held accountable, you guys need to take that accountability. And the same thing for men. When it's time for us to take that accountability.
Parenting, most of it.
A lot of it stems from our upbringing, yep, and our parenting, how we were raised, our parents. Yes, I do hold a lot of accountability on our parents. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, right now we are still moving up in numbers on Instagram with a clip that I basically held our mothers accountable for the quality of modern women and the mindset of modern men today. And surprisingly, we're getting tens of thousands of shares on that post. And a lot of those shares, they are agreeing wholeheartedly with that notion. So if you want to check us out on Instagram, man, you can follow us over at we-need.2talk. You know what I'm saying? And you could join in on the discussion. Look at some of the content over there. And of course, you know, we got our page to our show tagged in the title of this stream right here. You guys can go over and follow us over there, subscribe to us, watch a couple episodes, you know what I'm saying, get in tune with the content. We do advocate for family on this side of the internet. We advocate for family, togetherness, love, marriage, whatever you want to call it. We don't really, you know, subscribe to the live on your own type stuff. But as you guys can see on the page, that's our Instagram right there. You know, we're still growing it. I'm very happy with the traction. You guys see the beautiful Jaleesa over there one time for the one time. And yeah, just go ahead and join the conversation over there, guys. But we would really appreciate it if you did shoot over to our YouTube page, that We Need to Talk podcast, and subscribe to us. Give us a couple likes, watch some of the videos, get in tune with us. You will be seeing us here every Wednesday, you know what I'm saying, on this platform over here, doing what we do best, you know what I'm saying, having these dope conversations, you know what I'm saying, reading you guys' chats, engaging with you guys. We love the support. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and make sure you guys do purchase your ticket for Alan's event. You know what I'm saying? That's coming up. Please support the brother. The man is a genius. You know what I'm saying? Great conversationalist, has great standpoints, and I know you guys already know this is his community right here. But he has a dope event coming up. Just go ahead and get your tickets, man. I think last time he spoke about it, he said there's about 80 seats left. Go ahead and get your ticket, man. They're going to sell out. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get them and tune in. Stay tuned for everything, guys. And as always, it's your boy, Convo.
I'm Jaleesa.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace.
Bye.
We out.